What if I told you that the next big tech millionaire started with nothing but a laptop in his parents' basement? No fancy offices, no big investors, just endless late nights, cold calls, and a dream that wouldn't quit. This is the jaw-dropping, heart-pounding story of David Park, the ultimate underdog who turned a hilarious idea into a $25 million empire. Ready to dive into the roller coaster ride of grit, growth, and guts? Let's go. 1. David's big dream. Picture this, a young guy sitting in a cramped bedroom in his parents' basement, surrounded by notebooks full of ideas, and a laptop that's seen better days. That was David Park. While most people would have given up, David had a dream so big it kept him going day and night. He didn't have money, fancy connections, or even a clear plan at first. But he had something more powerful, the belief that someday, somehow, he could build something extraordinary. And that belief was just the spark he needed to start his incredible journey. Before we dive into the next part of David's incredible story, take a quick moment to check if you're subscribed to the channel. Trust me, the upcoming videos are packed with more inspiring stories and life-changing lessons that you won't want to miss. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the momentum going. 2. A long road of failures. Now, imagine trying to build something amazing for 10 whole years and failing every single time. That's exactly what happened to David. He started his first business at just 16 years old, and one failure followed another. But instead of giving up, he treated every failure as a lesson. He kept experimenting, learning, and improving. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't glamorous, but every step, no matter how tough, brought him closer to his big break. So, if you've ever felt like giving up, remember, persistence can turn failure into fuel for success. Born to build. David didn't just wake up one day and decide to be an entrepreneur, it was in his blood. Growing up in a family of entrepreneurs, he saw firsthand the struggles and sacrifices that came with chasing big dreams. His family didn't have much money, but they had grit, determination, and a belief that anything was possible. David took that spirit to heart. Even when the odds seemed stacked against him, he never stopped believing that he was born to build something extraordinary. That belief became his guiding light through all the ups and downs. Like any good son, David wanted to make his parents proud. They worked hard and sacrificed a lot to send him to college, hoping he'd find success as a lawyer or doctor. But here's the thing, David didn't fit in. He felt like a puzzle piece in the wrong box, lost in his fraternity, out of place in his classes, and constantly wondering if this path was even for him. It was a tough call, but David decided to take the road less traveled. He dropped out of college to chase his dream of being an entrepreneur, even though it meant stepping into the unknown. Before we dive into the next exciting chapter of David's story, make sure you've smashed that like button and shared this video with someone who needs a little inspiration today. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time, because stories like this are just the beginning. Let's keep growing together, one success story at a time. Finding a friend like no other. David's journey could have been a lonely one, but then he met Henry, a guy just as passionate and quirky as he was. Henry loved diving deep into the world of artificial intelligence, while David had a gift for creative ideas and storytelling. Together, they were unstoppable. They tried and failed at startup after startup, 10 times, in fact, but they didn't quit. Their partnership wasn't just about shared ideas, it was about shared determination. And when they stumbled across something incredible in AI, they knew they were onto something big. Sometimes, all it takes is finding the right person to believe in your dream with you. A funny idea sparked it all. One day, while experimenting with AI, David and Henry stumbled upon something completely unexpected. They asked the AI to tell a story, and it spit out the line, "Nothing is darker than a butthole." They burst out laughing, it was ridiculous, absurd, and weirdly profound. But instead of brushing it off, they saw potential. That quirky moment planted the seed for what would become their breakthrough product, Jenny. It just goes to show that even the strangest ideas can spark something amazing if you're willing to explore them. The Cold Call Marathon. With their idea for Jenny in motion, it was time to hustle. David picked up the phone and started cold calling businesses to pitch their product. And let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. He got rejected over and over again. 99% of the time, people just hung up. Imagine hearing no all day long. But David didn't let the rejections crush him. He powered through, working from his parents' bedroom day and night, fueled by the belief that someone out there would say yes. His perseverance turned every no into a step closer to success. A family that never gave up on him. Through all the struggles, there was one thing David could always count on: his family. Even when he was broke and borrowing his mom's credit card just to buy a burrito, they never made him feel like a failure. His parents didn't just support him, they believed in him. They put food on the table, cheered him on, and gave him the strength to keep chasing his dream. On the days David doubted himself, their belief kept him going. Sometimes, the strongest foundation for success is built on the love and encouragement of the people who have your back. Hey, if David's story is inspiring you so far, why not show some love by giving this video a like? It's a small gesture that helps this channel reach more people who need motivation, and in return, we'll keep bringing you more incredible stories like this one. Let's help each other grow. Listening to people changed everything. At first, David and Henry couldn't figure out why their app wasn't taking off. Then, they had a light bulb moment: they needed to listen, really listen, to their users. Instead of asking, "What do you like about Jenny?" they asked tougher questions like, "What don't you like?" and "How can it be better?" These conversations opened their eyes to what people truly wanted. By making changes based on real feedback, they turned Jenny into a product people couldn't resist. Sometimes, the secret to success isn't talking, it's listening. A lucky break on a podcast. Just when David thought he'd run out of options, he decided to share his story on a small podcast. It didn't have a huge audience, but something incredible happened. One listener, an investor named Jason Calacanis, heard David's passion and potential. He believed in David's vision and wrote him a $100,000 check. That money gave David and Henry the breathing room they needed to keep building. It's proof that you never know who's listening, so always put your best story out there. You might just find your big break when you least expect it. Going viral on social media. With the investment in hand, David and Henry kept grinding, but their big breakthrough came from an unexpected place: social media. A viral Twitter thread gave Jenny the spotlight it needed, and suddenly, thousands of people were signing up. It was like magic: every time they refreshed their dashboard, more users appeared. But David knew one thing: virality doesn't last forever. So, they started building a solid foundation, using the buzz to grow their audience and make their product even stronger. Sometimes, one viral moment can change everything, but only if you're ready to make the most of it. Before we jump into the next part of this amazing story, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest challenge you faced while chasing your dreams? Drop a comment below, I'd love to know, and who knows, your story might inspire someone else watching. A tough fight with cancer. Just as everything seemed to be falling into place, David was hit with life-changing news: a thyroid cancer diagnosis. Imagine facing your biggest dreams and your worst fears at the same time. Surgery was terrifying, and there were moments when David thought about walking away from it all. But then, something extraordinary happened. A Bible verse on the hospital ceiling reminded him to leave it all in God's hands. That moment gave him the strength to keep fighting. Against all odds, David made it through surgery and came out more determined than ever to make his dream a reality. A big decision: sell or keep going. After recovering from surgery, David faced a massive dilemma. His company, Jenny, wasn't growing without him at the helm. Investors were offering him millions to sell and start fresh, and the temptation was real. But deep down, David felt like he wasn't done yet. He knew there was still so much potential in Jenny, and his gut told him to stick it out. It wasn't an easy decision, but it turned out to be the right one. Sometimes, success isn't about the easy path, it's about trusting your instincts and doubling down on what you believe in. TikTok magic and growth hacks. With his decision to keep building Jenny, David and his team got creative. They dove headfirst into TikTok, Instagram Reels, and every other platform that could amplify their reach. Instead of just posting randomly, they experimented with different formats, found what worked, and turned it into a system. They even hired creators to help scale their content, offering incentives for views and conversions. This strategy wasn't just smart, it was genius. Their content started blowing up, and Jenny's user base grew faster than ever. David proved that with the right tools and creativity, you can turn social media into a growth machine. David's journey shows us that with persistence, creativity, and a never-give-up attitude, you can achieve incredible things, even from a basement. If his story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself, hit that like button, share this video with a friend who needs some motivation, and make sure you're subscribed to catch more stories just like this. And hey, drop a comment below, what's the one dream you're ready to fight for? Let's inspire each other and keep the momentum going. See you in the next video.